listening to The Final Third.
I think Pepe's so coachable.
Wow, you should be in
just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We bailed you out. We bailed you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You facing charges.
Yep. My internet is moving mad already.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Final Third. This is our second episode of the Get Well Soon Arsenal, #GSWA. If you don't know, get to know. This is about to be a crazy therapy session / happy moments / sad moments / confused moments. As you can tell by the title, I came up with the name, but it doesn't mean I actually agree with it. I just
You came up with the name.
I came up.
Oh man. Anyway,
unfortunately, I had to get the people watching it, so I had to do something to jazz it up.
Oh man.
It's not that I agree with it, guys. Please, I'm not an Arteta fan here. Okay, we're not doing this. But yeah, I am your host at _J Rosada, and I have.
You want me to go? Oh, my bad. Sorry, I'm not used to hosting, guys. So hold on. Really, but today I said, let me co-host. Let me join in. Let me get some clout. Shems, Lavish, Oluwa, Shemilore, whatever you want to call me. Shems _94. And yeah, and we have beautiful guests with us, don't we? Some of the golden girls.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Shaka, let's start with you, Bri. Let's start with you, Bri.
Hi, my name's Brianna at Shakad. Frequently slandered for my app, but I'm still here, still alive.
You're still going. And I'm Sam. My at is at S4CK12.
Cool. So get well soon, Arsenal. We're just gonna dive straight into it. So the first question I'm just gonna pose: are we satisfied with Arsenal's start to the season, and has anyone reconsidered where they believe Arsenal may finish? So from the start to now, what would have your predictions been before, and then now that we've got into this few run of games, what has it changed? If not,
let's start positive, guys, because we all know it's gonna go downhill. The further into the show it's gonna go downhill. So let's just start positive. Oh,
I don't really have a lot of positive things to say. Like how we even ended last season, yeah. I wanted to be positive. I wanted to think like maybe Arteta has some sort of master plan that we don't know about. So let him get into it. And then first three losses. What? I said, nah, sorry, I can't. I actually can't cope anymore. And then obviously Spurs win. That's inevitable. Why would we lose at home? There's no way. You think we're going to lose at home?
We don't do bad there. We don't do bad
exactly.
against Spurs at home.
And then Brighton came, and I was like, do you know what? I don't know. I don't know how to feel about where we are or where we could be. Even the next run of games, I actually don't know what to say. People are talking about, how many points can we get? Who knows with this team?
That's a damn shame. The fact we're saying how many points can we get, like we're in like a relegation battle or like we're just like a mid-table fodder, it's sad. But I agree with everything you said, but I would go one further in saying this. If we beat Brighton in like a comfortable or like if we just got the 3 points at Brighton, everybody would be a lot happier, obviously. But I'd feel like, okay, maybe it's not as bad. But if you're taking the whole 7 games, for now, you're taking the first 3. People say, oh, yeah, we played the champions and we played the European champions. Brighton and Brentford was a blip. The only game we really played well, or I would say, yeah, well done, Arsenal, was Burnley. Because Norwich, who got 1 point out of 7 games, and everybody slaps up, we played them 1-0, and it wasn't really convincing.
Yeah.
And sorry if I entered the Tottenham game, but the Tottenham game, it looks like it's just bread and butter. It's normal for us.
Exactly.
Ray?
I agree. I think like the North London derby didn't like throw off or give me like false hope. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But I didn't really have any expectations going into the season. Or maybe I did. I don't remember. But I didn't think, remember, but I didn't think like we were going to be in a title race or anything. And I think the one thing that's stopping me from being more optimistic is like we still don't look like scoring, and that's to me a big problem. Like you can't win games and then like convincingly without scoring. So even though the defense is a bit less dodgy than it was before, that the not scoring thing is a problem.
Facts. Yeah, I think I agree with everyone else. Like the level we started at is just like I can't say I'm satisfied because it's like the North London derby. It's like pulling the walls over everyone's eyes. Like it's not.
It pulled
It's a win. Literally, it's a win, but they've been dragging it from the time we won over the international break over
it's
again.
Still going now. It's still going
now. So it's like
you see a post like moments like this. Oh, please.
Oh,
like,
I'm tired.
Get a grip. It's like get a
I'm
grip.
literally tired of seeing it, and it's like, okay, we get it, we won, and it was quite early in the season, but it's like we've got a long fixture list coming up. Like, please, I don't want to hear it anymore. Like,
honestly,
but it was good that obviously, I mean, we could have got that win before the international break, but it's like that would have obviously pushed it a bit further. But it's like win out of all that. I mean, the manager got the Premier League manager of the month. I don't know how, but yeah. So I guess they saw something. I mean, us fans are still like, oh yeah, it was good, it's good, but it's like it's literally just Spurs and whatever other team we beat. So
Spurs, Burnley, and Norwich.
Spurs, Burnley, and Norwich. It goes into the next point. Sorry, Sam. Sorry, go on.
No. I was emphasizing what you said because the wins weren't anything to guess about. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say it goes into the next point. Small trending topic for Arsenal fans right now. It's a little bit of a debate, and this is what frustrates me about our fan bases because we have those mediocre fans who were like, "Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, give him time, project." But anyway, Henry's come out and said what he said, right? And just to summarize, more or less, he talked about the club not going in the right direction, and then he said, "I've seen us beating Norwich before, winning at Burnley, beating at Tottenham." Because we always beat Tottenham at home. I was more happy with when we beat Tottenham as we're good on the run, but waiting to see a performance. And more or less, he didn't really see a performance at Brighton. So he more or less said we're going in the wrong direction. And even Arteta's come out as well. I don't know if we saw the video where he said, oh, he's entitled to, like, it's just an opinion or whatever. Like, it's just another opinion. What do you not think is the significance of Henry? I'll come to you. What do you think is the significance of him saying like what he said? Do you think that is that added pressure to Arteta, or is it like, or what? Or it's just an opinion?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both because I think it's always a thing when your club legends and then Henry being our greatest player, I'd say ever, coming out to say the club is not going in the right direction. It's kind of a bit like, you know, it puts it's just another spotlight on Arteta. But then at the same time as well, I suppose it's not like Henry is in a position to do anything about it. So for Arteta, he can kind of sort of rest easy about that. But it's just like it's not nice for your club legend to be like, actually, the club's moving in the wrong direction. But he's not saying anything that nobody else has said before. So,
okay, Sam.
I mean, as Arteta says, you're entitled to your opinion, and the opinion is fact. Like, we are not heading into a direction that clearly shows the status of what Arsenal FC is. Like, for Henry, who is literally the epitome of Arsenal, for him to say that about a club that he used to play for, I'm even in shame for him to have said. And the thing is, I remember someone tweeting, I don't know who it was, they said, like, I don't want him to start saying things like this for him to think that he should be in a position to go in there and make changes. Because I don't want to boo Henry.
Apparently, he's screaming that he might, edging.
Nah, sorry,
money for it. But I can't lie, he shouldn't, because that's too much. Like, I can't have a legend ruin his legacy. Like, even though he's not playing anymore. Like, hey,
I'd rather boo Arteta than boo Henry. I'm not doing it.
Listen, and just I think he just needs to take a seat back and just relax because he doesn't want the fan base to turn on him, and that's just long. So
no, you just need to clap for him before the game. Once the game starts, we forget about it, and then at the end of the game, when we win, we clap him off. That's how it is.
Boy, if Henry loses a run of games like Arteta did, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Wait, I thought you guys were talking about Vieira.
Oh no.
Are you guys talking about Henry becoming manager?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not happening.
Oh, no, we know. That's
This guy will come to the dressing room and he'll tell Saka, you have to strike the ball like this. And if Saka doesn't do it, he'll be like, yo, I used to do it like this. If you can't do it, you're out the team. And the next thing you know, all our best players are out the team because they can't do what he would be able to do naturally. It's just when you're that talented, you can't coach sometimes. It's difficult because you can't appeal to these players that have lesser talents than you did.
True. Maybe you need that scare tactic. Maybe they need that scare tactic.
It didn't work in Monaco. Did you see what happened in Monaco? Man, literally.
Who's doing anything in Monaco anyways?
No, but Monaco were almost about to get relegated from him. They won the league 2 years before that.
Yeah. Anyways, Henry, stay where you are.
Yeah, no, Henry needs to chill with this whole conflict of interest, man. Because if you're trying to buy but if you're trying to buy the club and you're talking about the club and you've been asked about it, I get it, right? What he said, I don't have a problem with. But if he starts saying stuff that actually rocks the boat and like actually changes fans' opinions on people, he's causing distress for no reason.
Maybe we need to shake the tables.
Oh, maybe.
Something needs to happen at this club.
I agree with what everyone's more or less said in terms of like he said nothing. The actual comment, he said nothing wrong. But Sam, where I agree, I echo your point is that I don't want Henry to now keep saying things like this and now feel like he's in a position of like, you know what, I'm Mr. Arsenal. Let me go. No. I just want you to remain what you are.
Exactly.
No damage it because, like you said, Igal, when the thing about good players, we more or less only seen it with Zidane, but most good players aren't like good managers. Only Zidane was the main anomaly. Like most world-class players, are not good managers. Like I was saying, that we've all seen the video of Henry on the touchline. It wasn't looking good. It wasn't a good video. It wasn't a good video, and I don't want to. Whether Matt picked can you play one everything? Can you play one?
Be like me.
Yeah, nah. But I'm happy, but I don't think it does anything in terms of Arteta's job or his security. I feel like it's just another comment. So yeah, it actually is an opinion in terms of what Arteta said. It's just another opinion. But yeah.
I think when it comes to this whole manager thing and Arteta, all these other guys, they're gonna always poke fun at Arteta like they never did Arsene because they had a sense of loyalty to Arsene Wenger. They don't have a sense of loyalty to anybody at this club now. So they're gonna talk bad about the club. It's not that the club is not in a good situation. We know that, but because Arsene Wenger was the head of the ship always, he was protected by his former players. Now they're all gonna come out the woodworks and start talking. The only person who kept it real from the jump was Ray Parlour. Yeah, not Ray Parlour. Sorry, not Ray Parlour. Paul Merson. Paul Merson, because he had no loyalty to anybody. He was getting paid by Sky, and he's like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna tell that as it is. I know this guy got rid of me at Arsenal, so I don't care. that's how it was. And everyone used to get on to him, say, "Oh, you're a Chelsea fan." He's the only one that kept it real.
I feel like a lot of them though, even not the Henrys of Co, but just the mainstream media. We're the only team that they just always go in on because they don't have any ties to. Like a lot of the teams in their greatness had a bit of a British core, and a lot of the media is obviously British and English. But when Arsenal were doing well, it's like the French connection thing. There wasn't a lot of them aren't really in the media. Only probably Ian Wright nowadays. But when they would go ham on Arsenal, they would literally break us down. We're weak. Since we had Fabregas with the kids and Hleb and all these lot, we're weak. We're this. We're that. So. Now, I was right in that there's no ties whatsoever. The only people who didn't really criticize us was the ex-pros like Perez, Vieira, and these men. But now there's no ties, and they don't rate Arteta as a footballer. Let's get one thing. Just first thing, they don't rate Arteta as a footballer. So as a coach, boy, all he had was Pep. All he had was the stock of Pep. That's all he had. All he had was Pep's stock, and boy, we're in it for a long one though. We're going to be here for a long time. Let's get one first.
Can I ask you guys a question though? Because I came in late into the conversation. Have you guys already discussed like the beginning of the season? Because I feel like the beginning of the season is where
Yeah, that's the first question. I mean, you can still have you drop your thoughts on that, but yeah, it was just the first question. Like, are we satisfied with the start of the season and what?
I think the first 3 games are a write-off, and we should just forget about them and like look at it from since then, because there's so many situations that we could go back and say, oh, we could have done this better, we could have done that better, this could have gone better. But hey, it happened. That part of the season's over. Let's look at the season as a totality. If you want to do that, we got 10 points out of 21. But if you, the way I like to look at
I'm coughing blood. Oh my days. 10 out of 21.
Listen, but let me paint the picture. We actually only have 12 with our first team. With our first team, we have 12 points out of. We have 10 points out of 12.
Oh God, don't do this. So I hear what you're saying because they were injured. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but it's just janky. It's not good. It's not. Hear what you're saying because okay. Chelsea, Man City, right off. Chelsea, Julie's gone. Chelsea, Man City, right off. I hear you. I agree with you. Brentford, it happens, but really and truly, those players on the pitch are good enough to beat Brentford, who are newly promoted. People say momentum, and we're playing at Brentford Communities, whatever it's called.
We should have never been playing Brentford, bro. The Premier League stitched us up. Facts. They knew. They knew. No, I'm not even joking. This is not even trolling. Dead serious. They knew that we had a COVID outbreak in our dressing room. They knew 4 players were out with COVID. We had injuries. They did not want to stop the first game of the Premier League season on a Friday. They didn't want to rechange the schedule. They forced us to play, and we had Balogun starting first game of the season. Let's be real. In what way, in what situation does Balogun start on the first day of the season?
But technically speaking, the level that Brentford just came from should be what Balogun should be competing with anyway.
These guys.
Balogun shouldn't even be playing under, like, his level of under 23s is, he's above them all. So for him to come into the first team and play Brentford, he should be banging goals.
Or like he shouldn't feel out of his depth at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What about the level on the bench? Because if we have to change the game, who do we have on the bench in that game? Do you guys remember? Like, we had nobody. We had no game.
No, there wasn't the one where Kolasinac was on. Someone was on the bench who we tried to get rid of.
We had Kolasinac on the bench. We had Ainsley Niles on the bench. I think Lokonga started that game.
Yeah.
And then, so that just goes to show you, we had Mohamed Al-Nini, I think, on the bench. We had nothing coming into that game, and we had no strikers. We had, our defense was Holding, I'm assuming it was, and Ben White, or no, it was Pablo Mari and Ben White, and then Leno was getting bullied in the box. These same guys did this to Liverpool. What do we expect? I'm sorry. I agree with a lot of people who want Xhaka out or Leno out, these guys, but we needed all those guys in that game. As much as we are the championship teams are coming up and breaking up everybody these days.
And then Ben White
they have a different drive to want to be able to beat teams like that, and I feel like the mentality that you have in a team to want to be able to break teams down when you come from championship level, it's different. The gravy is different for some reason, but for us to be losing our first game against Brentford is a no.
It's a no. It's a no. All right, you know what? Let's veto that. First, we lost the first 3. Yeah, let's go to the next 3. So out of the next 3, Tottenham, fantastic first half. It was upsetting that they even scored 1. It should have been 3-0 or whatever.
Yeah, it should have been a clean sheet.
Let's Norwich. What do you think about that then, Gal? In terms of Norwich, you know the Norwich where we won 1-0.
Yeah.
What do you think about that in terms of, because you said it's not been that bad in terms of, because you said, I think you said 11 out of 12 points with the first team or something. I'm not too sure what you said, but you said it wasn't as bad as we made it out to seem. So let's talk about the games where we got a result. So let's start with Norwich, because I feel like I'm more disappointed. Even though we got 3 points, I'm disappointed that we just scraped it past Norwich. Because if we analyze the performance, it wasn't as teams have been going to Norwich, or Norwich come to and they're slapping Norwich up. Do you get what I mean? So what do you think about that? Or did you think it was just one of those matches we just had to win?
We did what we had to do. We got the 1-0. We got out of there. We got the clean sheet, which was more important for the morale of the team. And we started to see the team come together, because that was the first time the team played together. So I'm not too concerned about the 1-0 the 1-0 win at home. I was more concerned about the 0-0 draw away from home because of the performance overall. The performance against Norwich, you know what? On another day, we could have drawn. On another day, we could have scored 2 to 3 goals. We're just not clinical in the final.
That's facts.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Really, let's go. Sorry, go on.
Moving on. After a turn of form, were we hard on Arteta?
I don't think we're hard enough.
Oh,
sorry. That you know what? It says that actually.
Yeah, let Bree go. Let Bree, because
Bree go. Sorry.
Let's go in order of positivity. Bree, you go.
positivity.
Positive? Nah, we were not. Like, I'm not saying that we should be like abusing our manager. I'm not saying any of that, but like this excessive optimism for the sake of sounding like a good Arsenal fan is, I can't, like, when you see Arsenal and like you're watching Arsenal, there's nothing about Arsenal apart from North London Derby. Everyone was hyped, blah blah. None of the other games that we've won, drawn, or lost have been a good watch to me. I haven't enjoyed it. The defending and everything being good is great, as I said before, but confidence also comes from your team being able to score. And all of these like 1-0s, 0-0s, low scoring games where we just like scrape past it, that's a symptom of something. Because when it comes to the games where you do need to get the point or the 3 points, you haven't scored in a run of games. Your strikers aren't confident. It's a mess. And Arteta needs to fix that. To me, the midfield and the front three, it hasn't clicked yet. Or it's only clicking against teams that are clearly inferior to us. And that to me is a problem. It's a big problem, because when you're talking about improvement, it has to be improvement in all areas. You can't just take piecemeal improvement as like a sign that the project's going in the right direction, because you won't be able to attract the talent to improve the team. It doesn't work.
I think when it comes to Arsenal, we need to realize that the manager's not going anywhere at the moment. But were we harsh on him? Yes. Were we not? Was it deserved though? Yes. He looked like he lost the dressing room in that Man City game. It looked like those players did not want to play for him. The way they just conceded those goals constantly. The players that we had on the pitch clearly are not his players. Why am I talking about Oxlade-Chamberlain? God help me. Rob Holding.
We'll get to him later, but yeah.
Rob Holding, Kolasinac, and Callum Chambers started that game, and there was an image of them conceding a goal and Leno just looking at the goal going in, and that was the definition of that beginning of the season. They were just bystanders in defense. But then when you go to the next game and you go to the Burnley game in North, you see the guys putting their heads on the line. You see Gabriel lost his tooth like against Brighton. These guys were fighting for him. These guys against Man City, they weren't fighting for him. So it was the effort that the players were putting in, not as much the manager. I think I was harsh to turn on him, but I still think I've seen enough to say that he's not the man for the future.
That's on period.
What?
Yeah, go on, Sam.
I don't think Arteta's been challenged enough to really take his role seriously. I feel like we're accepting Meaty, and that's just enough for the time being. Because with any other, say again.
Sorry, that was me.
Sorry. I was just saying, like, I feel like with any other club, if they had the run of like results that Arteta's had, they would have been out by now. And for whatever Arteta is selling, and I've said this before, this guy is a wordsmith. Whatever he's spitting, these lyrics that he's spitting to the media, to the players, to the board, I don't know what he's saying, but he is sprinkling fairy dust to make them see something that we aren't seeing. And as Brianna said, like, the defense is looking steady for now, but the problem really is our midfield and our strikers. There's no connection. We're not clinical in the final third. Like when we get there, we slow it down to the point where it's like, cool, the other team's they're already here waiting to just intercept and counterattack. And it's like, what's the point in us actually making movement for us to not even try to even score a goal? And if we don't sort out that midfield situation, we've got nowhere else to go at this point.
Well, I agree with everything everyone said. And even the first comment, I think Nate moved to the one before. He said, I don't feel there's been enough pressure on Arteta.
Yeah.
100%, because I'm looking at all the other clubs and I feel like we've actually a very nice, soft, caring, sensitive fan base. We're just a proper nice, good little fan base. Like we like to hug everyone.
Yeah.
And this is not something that starts with Arteta. If we look at the totality of just Arsenal as a whole, Arsenal's the only club that, like, if we were to sign Messi, we'll be like, oh, how would that affect ESR? What? You know what I mean? Like, Arsenal literally be like, oh, don't know about getting Van Dijk now, mate. Gabriel, they play the same position. How's that? Arsenal we so sensitive about like things that don't matter except from winning. We're not, and this is why I'm very, very envious of Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans are loyal to winning. They're only loyal to winning. So and they're lucky because their owner is the same thing. Manchester United fans, they play by result, and West Ham fans, all these other fan bases, if they want to change, they're taking it to the streets. I'm not saying violence. I'm really not saying violence, but they make things happen. But us, it's like we have a fan base where it's like some people are angry. Oh, trust him. Some people are angry. Some people are not. Then some people are like, protect him. And it's just like we can't all agree on the level and the quality Arsenal need to be at. Because I don't think he's faced anywhere near as much as he should have been. Because we look at the other side of London and we look at Lampard. They're literally mirror examples. All the excuses of people holding on to Lampard, who's a club legend. The media were really saying, oh, he needs time, this and that and the other. But a world-class manager came in, same squad, and look at what they did.
Exactly.
I know our squad is nowhere near as good as Chelsea, but I know we're significantly underachieving. Because we shouldn't, as fans, we shouldn't be arguing about if we're better than Villa or Leeds and things like that. We should be clearly better than them and then be pushing ourselves to try and get into the top 4 positions. That's where we should be. We should be comfortably fifth. Our squad level should be comfortably fifth and trying to break into the top 4. But I feel like we're just so nice with it. And what upsets me the most about the lack of pressure on Arteta is he's not a club legend. If we did like a legend 11, he'll be in the third team. The third, not the second, the third team. Arteta's not a club legend, like footballing wise.
Would he even get into the third team with the midfielders we've had? But
yes, he wouldn't.
I want to ask you guys though. This going on the same thing with the team that we have right now. At best, where do you think we should compete? Because if people are still back in the manager, they should at least expect us to finish 5th or 4th. I personally, I've lost hope in this in us winning any major honors with this manager. But I still think he could probably get us in a position where, by luck, that we'll be in 4th or not 4th, but like 5th at the end of the season. Come the end of the season, because everyone else is dropping off. Leicester's dropping off. You see. Tottenham's dropping off. You see, West Ham are not consistent. I don't think they're going to stay hard the whole season, especially with Europa League. And I don't think Everton are going to finish above us because they're depending on Townsend and Damari Gray and Decore to keep them going. Let's be real. We have better quality than that in our team. And right now, I feel like if you are still Arteta in person, you need to say with chest that we're going to finish 5th or 4th. Or else, what's the point of being back in him?
You know what's funny, guy? Quickly, I was gonna say that ties into our next question. In that is that our level now, the likes of the Brightons, the Villas, and if not, like, do you believe we're equal to them or better? So yeah, that transitions perfectly into our next question. But I was just gonna say, you saying that if you're Arteta in person, it's very hard to find those people publicly. They don't have AVs on Twitter. They don't and you can't stick anything to them because they just like exist in a cloud. They'll respond to you on Twitter. But like you can't get them on a platform to openly say Arteta in. But yeah, go on. So I'm sorry, Igal's question of where do you think we could finish in terms of like if you are optimistic, or is Brighton co our level?
I don't
See,
think
that
so.
side was serious.
Let's stop this. Brighton's our level talk. It's not true. We're just too down right now that we're trying to. It's almost like we're not making
Everton, not Brighton. Sorry, Everton.
Okay, yeah. There you
No, I
go.
didn't mean Brighton. Sorry, Everton.
I feel like our problem is, and always will be until Arteta is here, is consistency.
Yep.
Because at least with Wenger, we were always competing for top 4. No questions asked, we would make it top 4. But the only issue was he wasn't bringing us major honours, as Igal said. With Emery, we were still scoring goals. Goals were happening. And the thing is, Arteta is now missing out on both concepts of what Arsenal should be doing. So it's like we aren't really in the conversation of even being top 6 right now, because the likes of certain teams, even if they are down bad, they're still scoring goals and getting points from the teams that we should be getting points off. But we're not getting points off them, like Brighton. We got 1 point from Brighton. We should be getting the full 3 points. But how we're moving, how we're going, how can we play low block and counter against Brighton? Is he on crack? I can't.
Listen, we have a situation where he has his arms tied sometimes, but he doesn't make it easy for himself.
He's not, because he should have changed this. He should have changed the strategy of the game from the second half. It was still doing the same thing. He's not aware of the game plan that he has, and he won't change it because he's too stubborn.
But that stubbornness also got us a draw against Chelsea. So it's like he trusts himself to do similar things that he's done before. So if you're in that seat, come on, Sam. If you're in that seat and you're the manager and you set something up, after 45 minutes,
he would hate me because I'll be winning. I'll be making changes because
after
I know what I'm
minutes.
I'm winning games because I know what I'm seeing. Do you know what I mean?
After 45 minutes, you're changing everything. If it's not working,
I'm changing it. I don't care.
That's one thing that I love Tuchel for, because
exactly.
a lot of managers do this. It's like an unspoken rule with managers of like, ooh, don't be so reactionary. Even though something looks clear cut not working, no matter what time it is in the match, Tuchel thinks something's not working and he's sure it's not working. That moment he makes the change.
Yep.
But I feel like managers, I think it's in just the manager book 101 or something, maybe the first rule, don't make a change till the 65th plus minute, because everyone feels like that's maybe not being reactionary. But yeah,
go on, make it clear. I am not Arteta in. I am Arteta out. It's just for anyone who thinks by my actions I'm Arteta out. But no, I do see. I do see that there is still value in this team. I still do see parts of this team that can do well, and we need to stop over exaggerating, because every single draw or loss, oh my God, we are terrible. Every single win, the parts of Arsenal fans that are Arteta in are saying, you know what, we're turning things around. I'm mistaken for being Arteta out. He didn't lose the dressing room. He still has a plan. I still support him. This is that. To me, the person we should be aiming at is Edu. He's the fraud in this team.
Oh, he's a disgrace.
Boy.
Like, that's the guy. But yeah, that's a conversation for a transfer window talk.
That man is a disgrace, because he's the one who started the season talking about we don't have any targets. That's one of the worst things I've ever heard someone say in like all walks of life. When you grow up, they tell you to have targets. So how can you, the owner of a football club, say we have no real targets?
No targets.
The worst thing is Arteta overruled him on our best signings. Tomiyasu, the man wanted Emerson Royal from Spurs. Ramsdale, he didn't want Ramsdale. Guess what? Verbatim, Edu wanted the board to sign Neto. Arteta went to the board and said, no, I've watched Neto. I don't want him. I want Ramsdale. And they bought Ramsdale. So that's two of our better signings this transfer window. Arteta overruled the tactical director, who also was hired by a fraud in Raul, who got sacked for doing dodgy business, which this guy was taking pictures with in the summer. So why is he still at the club?
It's just, there's holes. Yeah, you're right. And Pablo Mari, someone needs to find out the bloodline between Pablo Mari and Edu, because it still doesn't make sense. That's his nephew. That's his nephew, and he's got him on the books.
No, man went to Brazil, came back with him. in the January.
Randomly, like who's this
Literally,
guy?
just picked him up.
Yeah, he had a suitcase, everything ready too. It's funny.
So quickly, we'll just have a question for the panel. Thoughts on Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, White, Tavares, Odegaard, and Lokonga so far?
Anyone want to go first?
Bree go first.
Yeah, I put my stocks in Ramsdale in the beginning because everyone was slandering him, and I like to pick people that are being slandered, as you can tell by my app. But no, I think he's done well so far. I don't want to do that thing where everyone goes, "Yeah, he's miles better than Leno," or I mean, I have tweeted it like kind of a joke before, but I think that he's been really good. He's been a lot better than people expected, for sure. And you can tell that he really, so far, he loves playing for the club. Like, he's passionate about the club. And the same with Tomiyasu as well. Like, Tomiyasu's fit in really well. Shout out to whoever that ITK was that said that he wasn't a right back or a right wing or anything, and he doesn't know who he is, because he's been doing a good job for us.
Yeah.
Why his price tag is perhaps skewing my opinion of him. So far from what we've seen, that hasn't been anything to write home about, but he hasn't been terrible either. He's had some dodgy moments, but he hasn't been like out and out terrible. Tavares, he's all right. He's there. He hasn't done anything bad. He hasn't been amazing. Odegaard has been quite good. And so has Lokonga, actually. Lokonga's been really good. Yeah.
There you go. I personally think all these guys have done really well so far, except for Ben White, because Ben White, people are waiting for him to make any mistake, and they're on his case. But everybody else, people have been quite impressed by. Tavares putting in work in preseason. Odegaard scoring a free kick. Lokonga, you know what? He's hit and miss so far, but he still has a lot of high expectations from him. Because he's young, you can't have that many expectations from him. And a lot of people are saying he's better than Xhaka already, which is ridiculous. But hey, if you want to say that, you can say that. Tomiyasu and Ramsdale have been our best players defensively, and yeah, I like all the signings this window. I'm not giving you any credit for these signings. It's all on Arteta. What about you guys?
Sam.
Yeah, I agree so far. I think everyone's kind of like done what they needed to do. Like, I'm not gonna give everyone like over credit anyone. I still obviously see the old Ramsdale like PTSD, even though he wasn't from my team before. So I'm still holding on to like that bit of like there's a mistake coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not trying to overhype him, because I already saw a lot of that from the North London derby game. A lot of overhyping and comparing to Leno. I mean, of course, Leonard's been benched like for so many games now, but yeah, there's a low every single time the lines up comes up. It's always, oh my gosh, Leonard's been benched. So, I mean, I don't know why people are so shocked, but yeah. Tomiyasu, I didn't really know about him, but yeah, he's shown he's done well. I think apart from the last game, I think he was really rattled. But yeah, other than that, yeah, he's done well, to be fair, and yeah, everyone else looking good so far as well.
I want to know, guys, how do you feel about people saying crazy stuff? Like, I know, Bree, you're a Xhaka fan. What do you think about people making fun of Lokonga and comparing him to Xhaka? And some people saying this is why we miss Xhaka against Brighton. What?
No, I hear you. I was seeing them tweets as well. I was fuming.
Bro, I agree with that though. I think Xhaka miss.
Our fan base is so tapped. Oh my god.
That situation there, though, it's not specific to Xhaka. That situation there, I clearly agree. I clearly believe, yeah, Lokonga played bad in the Brighton game, but it must have been management in the sense that which centre mid picks up like positions like in front of the left back every single time.
Thank you.
He's literally not playing centre mid, and I'm looking like this is not how you played against Brentford. This is not how you played when you featured in the other matches. So why are you trying to play the Xhaka role? Arteta needs to be able to be like, okay, Lokonga has different traits to Xhaka. Xhaka picks up that pocket because he's not very mobile. So like he's good at covering, he's good at things like that. You have to be very strong in positioning. Lokonga's strength is from what I see, his mobility and his ability to move the ball quick enough, kind of, and carry it sometimes. But that's not it. Partey was playing on his own in the middle because he was picking up that Xhaka pocket. So it was very weird. So the fact that they say we needed Xhaka in the Brighton game, I don't even think he would have been able to cover a blade of grass as anywhere near as quick as the Congo was, because Brighton popped us in midfield and was moving our midfield all around the place. But in terms of the actual comparison, just as a Lokonga to Xhaka as a whole, I don't like it. I think that they're very, very different. But I think he's good. I think he's a good player. I think he's proper neat, and it's good. He'll be a very good squad player in the long run. He should be a squad player, not someone we rely on right now at all. As for the other three players, who was it? Get the comment up. I can't read my transfers. They're very easy.
Just all the new signings.
All the new signings. Sorry, Tomiyasu's been the best. I feel like Tomiyasu's been the best. The last game, even though everyone said it was his worst game, I still liked it from him because he was getting cooked by Kukurea, but he still, as Brexit as this sounds, he didn't give up. He ran till it hurt. He didn't give up. Yeah. So I like that about him because you can quickly go into your shell when the lights are on you and you're literally getting ISO 1v1 every single time you're getting beaten. So that's good. Ben White, again, like Igal said, everyone's waiting for a mistake to happen with him. So I feel like maybe we play these 3 o'clock games where there's no cameras, Ben White will shine in it. But when like the lights are on him because of the transfer fee and everything, it's not going to, but he's nothing special. Tavares, to be honest, for me, good preseason, but what I see normally, we just bring him on and just be running, that's fine right now. When we need you, really, we'll see how good you are. If something happens to Tierney, God forbid. Ramsdale's impressed me the most, though. Ramsdale's impressed me by far the most because I was not for that transfer whatsoever.
Yeah.
But Ramsdale's impressed me the most.
I want to know, guys. Bree, you're a Xhaka fan. Tell me, what do you think about Xhaka Brighton comparison?
Still good.
I try not to talk about Xhaka because when I do, I get cooked. But
I'm here with you. Don't worry.
But I think that there's a problem because Xhaka is underrated sometimes. I think he gets unnecessarily slandered. There's a lot of things that he gets like cussed for. Like every time he makes a mistake, it's this is so whack. But I think that because of the thing that Sam talked about, where Arteta sort of didn't accommodate properly or like change his tactics properly, we did look like we were missing Xhaka. But we were getting the runaround. Usually Xhaka doesn't do that well in situations where the game is that fast paced. But then on the plus side, he can also sometimes compensate for it because we've seen him do it, but they're not necessarily for Arsenal. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts.
Sims, I'm gonna say this: Xhaka was missed against Brighton because he would have recycled the ball better than Lokonga did. Maybe not. Maybe you could have played a different system to play a better game. But Xhaka's holding on to possession, recycling the ball, slowing down the game, and understanding of the game was missed in that game. Where when a team is dominating you in possession, having a midfielder who knows how to, who's been in those situations, has the experience, and can play next to Thomas Partey. And also, last but not least, Ramsdale kicked it long 80% of the time in that game because Xhaka was not there to receive the ball, and Thomas Partey could not do everything on his own, so he had to stay deeper at times, and it caused us to not have enough freedom to release ourselves every time we had the ball.
But that's the problem already that you've mentioned. He's not changing the system because if you have certain players that have certain characteristics for the game, as you said, Xhaka does this, Lokonga does this, Partey does this. Xhaka's missing until January, bro. He's not coming back until January. So we need to accommodate a new system to make sure that Lokonga is playing at his best. Because he, as you guys have said, he's actually a very good player. And I like the fact that he drives the ball forward, at least trying to make some sort of momentum and build up play. That's one thing I love about Lokonga. But he wasn't able to do that because of what? The system that Arteta tried to play.
I agree literally with both of your points because all the things you brought up, I was like, okay, fair enough, you're not wrong there. But Sam again nailed it that then that goes back down to Arteta in that change because you have different players on the pitch. Yeah, it's like you're not going to play. This is the first thing I thought of. You're not going to play Kante and Kovacic in the same sort of way. The difference was on midfielders.
Exactly.
So one will look bad in a certain system and the other one will look bad in another. But that's back down to the manager. Speaking of midfielders, though, speaking of midfielders, though, and you brought it up earlier, you brought his name up. So who would take? It's been rumored that the Ox is linked back to Arsenal. A little loan spell back to Arsenal. So who? No, wait, guys, calm down first. So right, so Partey's going. Like we're going to a lot of players in AFCON injury, whatever. So who would take Oxlade-Chamberlain? Who would take Oxlade-Chamberlain in the midfield? We go around the Jules. We'll start with you. Work our way that way. No, just it. No, just a no. Igal?
I would rather take Fabregas back on a 6 months.
So done. I'm so done. All right, Sam. No.
Nah, I'm sorry. Chamberlain wasn't even that kind of guy before. So
No. Chamberlain was alright, yeah, but what has he done since he's gone to Liverpool? Okay, everyone's gonna scream win whatever fucking trophy. But what has he done in that time to now for me to now accept him back?
that's what I'm saying. Like he's not even that guy.
He's not even a footballer no more. He's a TikToker.
It just doesn't.
Yeah, he controls the Liverpool
Literally.
account, and then he makes TikToks with his missus. But him as a whole, Chamberlain's last highlight was, I think, the screamer he scored in the Champions League. Was it against City?
Would you rather take Ramsey back or Oxlade? If you could take one of them, I would get Ramsey. Ramsey. I would say, yo, Juventus, give us Ramsey on loan. You need wages off your bill. Give us Ramsey for the rest of the season. I'll take Ramsey back. Forget about Ox. What has Ox ever done in his career to say, yo, he's gonna actually help our midfield?
This is what I said. He was never the guy in the first place.
It's scary because we really have to look at it. I think we might, thank God we're in one competition, because AFCON happening, we're pretty much doomed because
we're finished.
I think
it's only 2 games. Guys, it's 2 games. You do realize
that's 2 games.
That's a lot, though. That's a lot, though. That's 6 points.
6 points, D. It's 6 points.
Yeah, we're gonna lose.
And then they could literally say stuff like, "Oh, they're gonna miss another one because of quarantine." You see what's happening with Brazil now? Like all of these Brazilian players can't play this weekend, so it could be 3 games all in. And then I don't know.
We have an overruler over here. Someone says they'll take.
Man says Wilshere. Yo, Wilshere will be in the hospital bed. Allow it.
Oh man.
Over 2 games.
This is the most sentimental club I've ever like. I want to, being a fan of another club. Are they that sentimental as well? Like, how does it look from the outside?
No, they are. They're crying about bringing Hazard back at Chelsea. Did you see that? They are.
But that's like one player.
Yeah,
that's like literally like one player. We literally get sentimental over every single player that leaves.
No. Chelsea.
In that midfield, that the players that we've lost, like Ramsey and stuff, like every single time, Ramsey, man, I'm just like, guys, get over it.
If Arsenal fans were Chelsea fans, instead of buying like Ziyech and Pulisic and that, would have got Robben back from Bayern Munich, a 35-year-old Iron Robben. That's what Arsenal fans would have done. Man, nah, I can't. I'm saying Wilshere.
That's not that bad, you know. I'm not gonna lie, Wilshere thing. Sorry.
What?
Huh?
I don't think if it's a pay-as-you-play thing, it makes more sense than getting Ox on loan and paying him for like the half a season. If it's only 2 games.
Yeah, Bree, I'll tell you this. Jack Wilshere has been told by the world of football that you're not good enough to play football anymore. Nobody wants you. Even in League One, he couldn't get a tryout. So if he's coming back to play for Arsenal for 2 games, it makes no sense. We have to move on from Jack Wilshere. We have to move on from Oxlade-Chamberlain. The only reason why I said I'll bring back Ramsey is because he's at a higher level than both of them.
Facts. Because Wilshere couldn't play for Bournemouth. Got dropped by Bournemouth. And then, if you actually watch the documentary, he was talking about, like, you're right, he couldn't get a game anywhere. And it was so bad that his child was getting ripped in school, in the playgrounds. And it's just, it was deep. It was actually quite sad. But anyway, like,
he's going to get a job from Arsenal, though.
Pardon?
He's going to get an academy job this year.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'll take Wilshere, but I'll take Chamberlain, though. And we call it sentiment, call it whatever. I would. Honestly,
Yeah, 100%.
That's the
Wilshere
question.
before Ox.
If that's the question. Even though they're both dusted,
Yeah.
I would take one over the other.
I would rather just go and spend 25 million on a guy from Italy in the January window, rather than bring any of those guys.
I mean, that's literally the most logical thing to do, because if we're building a young team, we might as well look for a young midfielder who is ready to come to the Prem, and obviously is, you know, one of those players that's, I've loved Arsenal since I was 5, you know, I wanted to play there for this long. Bring them in like that, then that's
Frank
fine.
Kessie on a free transfer in the summer, or you bring him in now for 25 mil and he doesn't go to Manchester United. Win-win.
That's what the next question is just like, guys, like you got our notes, but the next question, he's got our notes in his phone. Who would you like to see coming in this January? Well, January coming up. Like, who would you like to see at the carpet?
It would have been Basuma before he got nicked.
That is a madness. You know the Basuma thing? Was that video actually him when they was dragging the guy?
Yeah, because he had a picture with his mom wearing the same clothes, the same day. So it's like
it's crazy how if a madness happens, obviously, like for example the Mendy one or Sigurdsson, I don't know what's going on with that. It's like the club just distances themselves with you completely. Oh, for God's sake! The club just distances themselves from you completely. But well, who would you guys breed? Who would you like to? They'll go Breed and Julie, then Igal, then Sam. So Breed, who would you like to see if we've got, let's say, 50? Is 50 mil realistic? Yeah. Who would you like to see?
Man said 50 mil in January. What?
We're dusted. We need.
Bro, nobody spends money in January. You think we're gonna spend 50 mil?
Okay, 30 mil. Sorry, Igal. 30.
A lot.
We've spent enough money anyways.
But when we bought Aubameyang was like 60 mil, and that was in January, I lied.
No, but we lost Alexis on a free. We had to do something, or the fans were gonna lose their mind.
Exactly.
Okay, fair enough. Go on then, 30 mil.
I don't know. You know, I haven't thought far enough to January, but I guess my January wish list would be a new manager and getting Saliba back.
Okay, let's say let's say position then. What position? So you said what position would you be like, okay, we need to look at this and be like, let's get an upgrade here?
I think we need a new striker, but I don't think January is the time. The strikers that are available in January probably won't be a long-term replacement. Maybe I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But maybe a centre mid, I guess.
Jules?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. Like, I don't know what we need to fix, but I think, a striker. I mean, I don't know who'd be going in January, if anyone, but a striker most definitely. Fixing that centre mid problem, because there's a lot of ups and downs there. I don't know about defense, because I want to say yes just to be like greedy and extra, but I think what we have, like the four that's played at the back for the last 2 to 3 games, I think they're okay. But obviously there's always going to be like an injury or whatever, so like kind of like having like a backup, like what we have for Tavares for Tierney, like something like that. But yeah, nothing like major.
Okay. Go.
Ooh. I just want a midfield partner for Thomas Partey but to get him in this window is going to be difficult. So I'm going to look at players that we actually have been linked to, and we've been linked to this Noah Lang guy, who's a saucy baller from over there in Belgium. He came from the academy, the Ajax academy. Yeah, he plays for Club Brugge in Belgium, right? So he came from the Ajax academy. He's a baller. He is going to, if he comes in, he's rumored to be like as saucy as Neymar. So he'll add a level of flair in our squad, add more creativity into our squad, and he has a finishing ability. He can play in the 10, he can play in the right wing, left wing, and he's even played as a false 9. He's played as a center mid. So he's played everywhere. And he's 22 years old, and he's up and coming. I say we get this Dutchman in now in January and save ourselves the headache of having to compete with people in the summer window.
And we got Sam. Sorry.
To be honest, I haven't really been looking at who we could be targets, who we should be targeting at the moment. But as you guys have said, we definitely need a central midfielder, and I think we need two. We really need two because our midfield is very weak at the moment, and I think it's our weakest link before getting a striker. As Bree said, we can look for a striker in the summer, but right now our midfield is what's breaking us down a lot. So that's our focus right now. Two, please, Arsenal, two.
Okay, cool, fair enough. I was gonna like everyone said. I feel like specifically I haven't got a player. My eyes just on Paredes at PSG, who doesn't, because I feel like if we're going to a top club, you have to get someone who's not playing and not satisfied at a top club.
Yeah.
Doesn't really get a lot of games at PSG. I feel like, and he'll be around 20-25 mil, but he's older. He's 27, which is out of these got love kids. That sounds so messed up. But yeah, these sort of love younger players. But Paredes is, I think, we really in summer we need a striker, like a big striker. Whatever is a big striker now. But I feel like in January, if you can get me a centre mid, I agree with Jules in that the back four is fine right now. My only worry is that if we get an injury, and then I'll draw on Bree's point in that get back Saliba. But centre mid, maybe someone of Paredes' level, or just a centre mid at a top club, who's not getting enough game time, and we can get one of them because they'll be like maybe 25 mil. The Hossam our thing died down, and that makes me laugh because it's like everybody really wanted him, and now most Arsenal fans are like, yeah. But what changed? I don't know.
I'm thinking that as well.
What changed is he wasn't getting game time.
So bring him here to give him game time.
If he's as good as we were saying, bring him, because what's the issue?
I was gonna mention him, but then I thought everyone's
Van der Beek. So some people, I saw Van der Beek. So some people are saying Van der Beek, and I don't mind that.
I would sweep him. I would happily take him.
Not mind that because he's no slouch. He's no slouch.
He can come to
if he came to Arsenal, United fans would cry.
Cry.
Yeah, you cry.
Cry.
Cry then. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just the days are gonna be long for us, man. Because all we know is I doubt we'll get anyone.
What about people saying bring back Saliba and them in January?
Bree.
Hmm?
No,
bring back.
You said
bring back Saliba and them in January.
Yes. I don't. He's not going to have game time.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll have a hiccup, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I haven't seen. No, obviously we paid a lot of money for Ben White. I haven't seen enough of Ben White that makes me think that he should be starting ahead of Saliba. And I also think that it will be, Ben White aside, it will be wrong to assume that Gabriel and White will be able to start every game together for the rest of the season. I feel like that's putting your hopes a bit too high. And we've seen what's happened when Holding has had to play with either one of the two, or Mari has had to play with either the one of the two, or Holding and Mari have had to play together. It's looked scary. It's been scary hours. So for me, I think that he would definitely start if White continues this form. He would start with Gabriel. To be honest, I don't even think we should be debating. If Saliba was at Arsenal, he would be the first centre back on the starting sheet for me. Facts. It's not about game time for Saliba. It's really about who else isn't going to get game time. And I wouldn't be mad if Ben White didn't start for Arsenal. No offense.
But Arteta would be mad. That's what I like. I don't think he'll start Saliba, even if he was to come back. Yeah. And I think the only time that he would start Saliba is if someone is injured.
Which is why I said I wanted a new manager as well.
I think there's some politics. Something's going on.
100%.
Right? Yeah. Because everybody who these Raul and these guys brought in are out the door. And Martinelli is not getting game time. Saliba is not getting game time. Guendouzi got chastised. Something we don't know is going on at Arsenal. Torreira has been binned off. It's just people are getting binned off left, right, center.
I need an Amazon documentary to reveal everything to me. I want to see it for my eyes.
Live stream the pain. I was good just to round up because we've gone over time. I just want to quickly. We're going to do this quick fire. I know we're not. This is not our reality right now, and you have to think of someone. If Arteta was to go, let's say the next international window, November, whatever, who would you want to replace him? You can't say more than 2 people realistically. So I'm not trying to hear Pep. Go on. So we'll go. We'll start with you, Sam. We'll go around this way this time because everybody wants to say, "Yeah, let's get rid of Arteta. Let's get rid of Arteta."
Yeah.
I know it's not a job to find a replacement, but
I already seen that comment.
Yeah, let me just shout out Shocks in the comment section because he was the first one that came up with that theory. He's the first one who came up with that theory that something's going on at Arsenal where they're binning off people who these guys shouted. So he's trying to say you stole that, bro. I'll give you credit.
I'm obviously I'm just thinking in terms of like free agents right now, like who's actually available. And in all honesty, we need a manager with a winning mentality and a manager that will actually shake the tables. And I feel like the only one that comes to mind right now for me is Conte.
Said it.
And the only reason why I think him is because even though he's saying that this team is not exactly, title challenging, I know for a fact that Arsenal's got quality players. They just need quality management. They need someone that can actually one-on-one be like, listen, I need you to do this. Whereas I feel like Arteta is just nice in everyone. And it's not even allowing people to have there's not even any kind of free-flowing football to even let these boys even play how they want. I feel like it's so restrictive and just robotic. But yeah.
It's another one of my guys. Big up Azan. But yeah, I think
this is why we said, this is why we said it's not our reality right now. I mean, we're just
as in Conte not coming to Arsenal. Like
we know this, but
they're gonna come cook us in these comments now because I look at them dreaming. But yeah, go on, Nick. Who would you want?
I'm going straight to Russia and I'm getting Ralf Ragnick and I'm telling him, come into Arsenal, you be the man, sack Edu, give him both Arteta and Edu's roles.
Man said going to Russia. Damn.
Do you guys know who Ralf Ragnick is? The same man.
Is this the one that Newcastle are linked with? The guy who Newcastle linked to the whole footballing structure. Is he gonna be football director of football over there or something?
Man got Leipzig from from promotion into the Bundesliga to being in the Champions League consistently. Let's not look past him.
He's got a lot of names under him. Scored a lot of.
As long as he doesn't bring Ralph Hasenhuttl with him from Southampton, I'm good.
So that's who you want. What about you, Julie? Let's do you first.
Yeah, I don't know who. Yeah, think about availability, but Conte seems like the man. To be fair, just adding on with whatever everything that Samantha said. But yeah, we need someone that's more of a dictator than just doing everything off their own opinion and what they think is right and not letting anyone else have a say or an input, because I feel like that's what Arteta does a lot. He owns the club and he does what he wants his own way and what he says goes, and no one else is right but him. But yeah, I think Conte.
Okay, great.
I think I'm not a Conte fan, not because he's not a good manager, but that type of football, I hate it. I'm sorry. I don't find it entertaining. And we don't have flair players to kind of ease the blow. So it's not for me. But again, win by any means. If we do that, then I love it. If everyone else likes it, I love it. I think that we need an overachiever, like a manager right now, because our squad on paper isn't, as good as everyone else's. I've heard people talking about Lucien Favre and how he's really good. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't have any names in mind. So I think Conte will be good for just assured wins and then an overachiever.
Okay. We saw Graham Potter here wanting the comments. I'll just refute that. No. I know it just sounds a bit arrogant, but no. Yeah, he's a good manager, but it still gives me the Brendan Rodgers kind of thing of like.
Yeah.
He's gonna go to Leicester. He's gonna go to Leicester, and Brendan Rodgers goes to Newcastle.
Yeah, you can see the pipeline. You can see the trajectory already. Who did you say? You said Favre, the ex-Dortmund manager, isn't he? I'm not too aware of him.
Do we want to go back to scoring 4 goals but conceding 5?
Yeah, I just remember that they had a bad defense when he was under there. But the Conte thing, I really feel like Arsenal's setup is perfect. And if we want success right now or to boost our morale, it's perfect. But long term, obviously, no.
Yeah, of course.
If Conte really stay anywhere long term, he doesn't. So it answers itself. Yes, I agree that his style of play is bad and it's regressive and it's just. But with the squad we have, it's the fifth or sixth best squad in the Prem. I feel like if we get him, he could make us overachieve significantly, and that's good enough for us right now. Me personally, long term, I wanted Ajax manager Erik ten Hag, who plays free-flowing attacking football, which is what everybody or we want specifically. But I can't put my trust in the fact that he can come and get us be successful at Arsenal or what we want of success. We need someone who strips away this sentiment we have with average players and mediocrity, and someone who demands excellence. And I feel like Conte ticks the mold. Even if like we could get Zidane, I wouldn't get Zidane at all. I don't agree with Zidane at all. But Conte, I feel like it's the perfect setup for Arsenal right now in terms. And I believe he actually would come. Everyone's saying he wouldn't, but I honestly believe he would come. I feel like it would end bad, but he would come. That's it.
Do you see that comment that says the Brentford manager? He was linked to us today.
Oh yeah, I saw that, but I turned that. I think he was linked, but I just thought it was a tweet. I didn't think it was credible at all. Is it not Daniel Farkas? Is it Daniel Farkas? Is that his name?
No, I forget his name. Daniel Farkas is the guy who used to be at Norwich, no?
Yeah, you're right. Thomas Frank. That's it. Thomas Frank. That's his name. But yeah.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When I see links like that, I just start saving myself. We're never gonna get a top manager, are we? If we keep getting these kind of guys.
Unless a manager wants to take a chance on us and just say like, I can do this.
It's a lottery thing. Like if he does it ends up good. But if your owner doesn't care or like doesn't watch football, he would never know who's good.
Exactly.
So Abramovich, there's certain people you can bring to him because he's going to be like, no, that person's not good.
Other clubs, they don't care if they have a manager in place. If a top manager becomes available, they pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Look at I know Watford's a bad example, but they pull the trigger every single week, right? When they got Ranieri, I've seen people trying to compare Ranieri and Arteta and saying, "Oh, Arsenal are dumb because they should have got Ranieri." Let's be honest. No one was linking us to Ranieri. Stop doing it.
I don't want Ranieri still. I don't want Ranieri. He was lucky.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. We're going to end that there. Very intrigued to see what more we have for our next Get Well Soon Arsenal. But thank you all our guests for coming on. Make sure you follow them on their socials. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe when this video drops. And we will see you on our next video.
Julie, ask where we can find them. All that stuff, all the housekeeping stuff.
That's why I said follow their socials, but it's on the screen. I think Igal's the only one that actually hasn't at up, but Igal, do you just want to drop your socials so they can follow you?
Yeah, you guys already know what it is. EGTV, and on Twitter, EGTV Igal. There you go.
And obviously, we've got the lovely ladies from the Gold Diggers here. And yeah, you can catch us there every Sunday, Monday. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. See you later, guys.
Peace.